Puma's come under a lot of pressure in the last 2 years, especially since they lost their CEO to Adidas just about 2 years ago. What's happened is that Puma was able to thrive when Nike had pulled out of wholesale as they regained a lot of that shelf space. But now with Nike pushing back and really entering wholesale in a more meaningful way, Puma doesn't have that same visibility in wholesale. So their wholesale sales have struggled and they really haven't found a niche for themselves to grow the company from where it is today. So lots of pain points. I think, with a sale, if there is a sale, that is, it might just give it a bigger lap to fall into, giving it more scale to leverage and maybe allow it to grow a little stronger.
I'm curious about endorsements because I just don't feel like I see it with Puma in the way that I do with a Nike, certainly, or Adidas. I mean, I think I saw Dua Lipa out there hawking. I don't know the connection there, but hawking, Pumas. So are they behind the curve when it comes to what can be really vital endorsements?
The vital endorsements are critical in the game of sports. And you're absolutely right when it comes to mainstream sports that we're used to, like basketball and soccer and football. Puma doesn't have as big of a play there as Nike and Adidas. But Puma has crafted itself into the smaller sports, like cricket, for example. It endorses the one of the largest cricket players in India for cricket. It has the Ferrari sponsorship for racing cars, right? So it does participate more meaningfully in the smaller sports, you might want to call it, versus basketball. It has LaMelo, but it doesn't have really that much more in terms of in the other mainstream sports like football or others.
Who do you think should, if this company is put up for sale, who do you think should buy Puma?
That's a tough question. I mean, it's probably going to be right now. What's speculated is Anta Sports and Ning, and I think those are all possibilities because they have the room to take in a brand that wouldn't have as much overlap, right? It's the predominant brand. It could help them scale their own visibility. I don't think a Puma makes sense for a Nike or an Adidas, for example. I don't think that's where it belongs, but I think anywhere else is fair game.
If they don't sell, what are the other options on the table here?
I think it's just going back to the basics, right? I think it's going to be harder for them to compete on with Nike and Adidas because they don't have the dollars or the deep pockets to advertise and market as aggressively as the other two do. But they have to stay true to their niche markets and really craft their way up from there. It's going to be tough. Look, the athleisure market is getting more competitive. Everyone is trying to sell athleisure, right? Whether it's the specialty apparel retailers or the mainstream retailers, whoever it is, they're all going after that market share because the market is growing. It's not going to be an easy ride, and they have a new CEO in place to help them drive the turnaround. But we haven't heard a strategy yet, so we're not sure what their intentions are and what the roadmap is to really drive this turnaround, at least yet.
30 seconds, Poonam. Who's the Pinault family? Who are they?
They own about 29% of Puma shares, so I think they're an investor that's largely invested there. But I would say there's a push to get the sale going because of the underperformance that they've had.